Hi, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus Zinc 1%, which is a leave-on product, which means that once you have applied it to the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now, at first I want to go over some general information, then I want to share with you some example skincare routines as well as what you should avoid. And then I want to move into the application so that you can see it visually. And lastly, I want to show you how you can dilute the Ordinary Niacinamide serum with another treatment or moisturizer to reduce the strength of it so that your skin has more time to adjust to it over time in case you cannot tolerate it while using it on its own. Now, this video is based on my experience and current knowledge, however, feel free to adjust it. And if you should have any additional questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. I'm happy to help you if I can. Now, I want to get started with some general information. So first of all, the Ordinary Niacinamide serum is a water-based serum that can be used daily in the morning and or evening, and it is suitable for all skin types. Now, niacinamide is a great antioxidant which can be beneficial for everyone since it helps to keep your skin healthy. Yet at the same time, it may have some anti-aging benefits. But niacinamide is mainly being used as a brightening ingredient for surface hyperpigmentation, such as blemishes, reddish or brownish spots on the skin surface. Now, I want to give you an example of how it can help you to improve it a bit faster. So let's say you are suffering from post-acne marks. Now, your skin is able to heal itself over time, but it can take quite a long time until it becomes more even, or even so that it won't be visible anymore. Now, let's say this will take about a month until this goal is reached. However, what you can do is add a brightening serum to your skincare routine, and it can help you to improve it a bit faster. So let's say instead of waiting for about a month for this to happen when using nothing, you can speed it up and it will already happen within 3 weeks. So you're going to save some time and it happens sooner. Now, this was just now purely an example. This does not mean that your surface hyperpigmentation will be gone within 3 weeks. This was just purely an example so that you understand the difference when adding specific skincare products to your skincare routine that are working on your skin concerns and how they can help you to improve it. And by the way, skincare products in general take time until you will notice some improvements, so be patient. Now, niacinamide is not only a brightening ingredient, but it can also help you to regulate your oiliness, which then helps to minimize the appearance of enlarged pores while using the product. And at the same time, it has some anti-inflammatory properties. So in case you're suffering from redness, which can happen after your acne. And so at the same time, it includes 1% of zinc, which can help you to hydrate the skin, while at the same time again helps to regulate oiliness as well as minimize the appearance of enlarged pores while using it. But at the same time, it may have some benefits if you have acne-prone skin, and it can help you to reduce it. Now, the Ordinary Niacinamide serum is not an acne treatment. It can be beneficial if you have acne-prone skin or you're suffering with pimples here and there. It can really be beneficial, but it's not an actual acne treatment. So if you have acne-prone skin, I recommend looking into acne treatments such as benzoyl peroxide or salicylic acid, and then combine your acne treatment with the Ordinary Niacinamide so that you're getting benefits of both and you're able to keep your acne under control while using the products. So this was just purely an example on how you can, for example, make it work. But now this brings me on to my example skincare routines, what I have prepared for you so that you can see the order of application. I have prepared them for you in PowerPoint slides so that you can see them visually, step by step. And the products that I have picked to use along with it, those are just some examples. If you have other skincare products that are working well for you, go ahead and exchange it, but it won't change the step. And by the way, in my PowerPoint slides, you will see above where it says optional. This means that you can skip the step and adjust it accordingly to your skin type and needs overall. And on the bottom, you will see overall general guides on how you can specifically use certain products when including them in your skincare routine. So as an example of a morning skincare routine, you can go ahead and start off with the first step, which is washing your face using a suitable cleanser for your skin type and needs. If you have an hydrating and soothing toner at home, this would be the next step after cleansing. Then follow on with the application of the niacinamide serum. serum, and then move on to sun protection, which can either be a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen. When it comes to an evening skincare routine and you say, well, I have a leave-on exfoliant that I want to include, then go ahead and do so. You can use the Ordinary Niacinamide serum along with exfoliating acids as well. So it doesn't matter if this is going to be a cleanser, leave-on product, or maybe after an exfoliating acid mask, that's completely fine to do so. But what you have to keep in mind is, now in this example, I want to keep my focus on leave-on exfoliating acid products. So if you have a leave-on exfoliant at home, please only work with a gentle cleanser. So in an evening skincare routine, start off with your cleansing step. If you have stubborn sunscreen and or makeup that you're trying to remove, you may want to do a double cleanse using an oil or balm cleanser at first, and then follow on with your gentle skin cleanser that's working well for your skin type. Wash your face, rinse it off. Then move on to your exfoliating acid toner or serum, and then move on to the Ordinary Niacinamide serum, and then continue with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards. Now when it comes to exfoliating acids, there are several ones on the market. You can find AHAs like glycolic acid or lactic acid. You have BHA, which is salicylic acid, as well as even PHA toners. So in this specific case, most of them would be used before applying the Ordinary Niacinamide serum. However, if you want to keep your focus on the Ordinary products, they do have the salicylic acid anhydrous solution as well as the Ordinary mandelic acid. And in this case, the order of application changes. So then you would start off with cleansing your face, then use your niacinamide serum, and then use your mandelic acid or salicylic acid anhydrous solution afterwards, and then continue with your oil and or moisturizer if you should feel the need. So this will be then the opposite due to the molecular size and the way on how it is formulated. So I want to give you both options in case you're looking specifically into the Ordinary products as well to use along with the Ordinary Niacinamide serum. And so this would be then one example. When it comes to exfoliating acids, just make sure that you're going to choose the right one for your overall skin concerns and needs. Now, this would be an example of an evening skincare routine, and I now want to move into what you should avoid, which plays a big role on how you're going to set up your skincare routine as well. So the only conflict that the Ordinary Niacinamide has is vitamin C, but there are several versions of vitamin C that you can find in products. I'm talking about the pure form of vitamin C, which is ascorbic acid. So if you're going to keep the focus only on the Ordinary products, please do not use the Ordinary Niacinamide with the Ordinary ascorbic acid with alpha-arbutin, or with the ordinary vitamin C powder, or with Ordinary ethylated ascorbic acid, or with their vitamin C suspensions, 23% and 30%. So please keep them separate. So in this case, use your niacinamide in the morning and your vitamin C in the evening. If you have another vitamin C product at home and you aren't sure what it includes, well, look into the ingredients list. If you can see the word ascorbic acid, please keep it separate. If it says a vitamin C serum but you cannot find the word ascorbic acid, then they are probably using a vitamin C derivative, and then it's fine to use it with the Ordinary Niacinamide. So this is the big difference which you have to keep in mind when working with vitamin C. But that's basically the only conflict. You can use niacinamide along with any other ingredients that I haven't mentioned other than vitamin C. And so based on that, this should give you an overall guide on how you can make it work when setting up your skincare routine accordingly to your overall skin concerns. Now this brings me now to the application that I want to share with you, and I have prepared for you some examples right here so that I can go over the order of application. So I want to get started with the first step, which is now washing my face using a suitable cleanser for my skin type and needs. I do want to include an exfoliant, so I'm only going to use a gentle cleanser, so a non-exfoliating acid cleanser, to make sure that no irritation occurs, so that you have an overall example. So I'm using Cetaphil's Daily Facial Cleanser. If you're using a different one that works well for your skin type as well as need, and it does not dry out your skin nor irritates your skin in any way, go ahead and use that one. Just make sure to read on the back of the packaging on how you should use your cleanser, since the directions can change depending on the cleanser that you're using. And please make sure to read on the back of the packaging if you can use your cleanser around the eyes or if you should avoid it. In this case, I need to use the cleanser on wet skin. So the first step that I'm going to do is now wetting my face, neck and hands with lukewarm water to warm water, and then I'm going to apply the cleanser onto wet skin. So let's go ahead and do this. So then go ahead and use about 1 to 2 pumps, about a coin-size amount of your cleanser in the palm of your hand. Rub your hands together and gently massage it all over your face and neck for about 30 seconds to a minute. So once you have massage cleanse all over your face and neck, you now can go ahead and again rinse it off with lukewarm water to warm water. You can do this by just using your hands. However, if you should come across any issues and you feel like there's still some residue left, I recommend using a fresh and soft washcloth in between, which you can wet, and this can help you to remove the cleanser a bit better. So now go ahead and take a fresh towel and pat the skin dry. So once you have pat the skin dry, you can immediately move on to the next step. There's no need to wait in between. The next step can already be the application of the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum. So use between 2 to 3 drops and then apply it evenly over your face and neck and leave it on the skin. However, if you do want to include an exfoliating acid toner or serum into your skincare routine, then again keep in mind the order of application. So as an example, I'm going to use the Ordinary Glycolic Acid Toning Solution, which I would use before I'm applying the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum. The same would apply if you have, for example, Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant at home or the Ordinary Lactic Acid Serum. Those are exfoliating acids, those are leave-on exfoliating acids, which you would use before applying the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum. And those are some famous ones, that's why I have picked them. But when it comes to an exfoliating acid toner or serum, just choose one. So either an exfoliating acid toner or an exfoliating acid serum. You do not want to use multiple ones in the same routine because this is going to lead to irritation, so just use one. However, again, keep in mind that the order of application can change in case you have the Ordinary Mandelic acid at home or the Ordinary Salicylic acid anhydrous solution at home. Then you would use it after the Ordinary Niacinamide Serum. So again, I'm going to keep my focus on the Ordinary Glycolic Acid Toning Solution, which is a very lightweight and liquidish toner, which if you're going to dispense the product in the palm of your hand and then you want to apply it with your hands, go ahead and do so, that this can work well. Use between 5 to 8 drops. The same would occur if you have, for example, Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant or the Ordinary Lactic Acid. Those have a very thin texture. Again, the amount of product that you're going to use won't change, between 5 to 8 drops when applying it with your hands. However, if you should have an exfoliating acid toner or serum at home that has a thicker texture, use between 3 to 4 drops when applying it with your hands. Then you need to reduce the amount, otherwise it's going to be way too much. But another option on how you can apply it is with a cotton pad. So if you want to apply it with a cotton pad, go ahead and take a fresh and soft cotton pad and then use about a coin size amount on a cotton pad. You do not need to soak up the entire cotton pad. First of all, you're going to waste quite a lot of product, and second of all, it can lead to irritation if you're going to use too much of your exfoliating acid toner or serum and it cannot properly absorb into the skin. And when doing the application of your leave-on exfoliating acid toner or serum, please make sure to read on the back of the packaging if you can use it on the eye contour or if you should avoid it. And please do not get it into your mouth nor into your eyes. If that's the case, rinse it immediately with water, and please avoid using it on top of your eyelids because this is quite sensitive and the skin is very thin. So use about that much, more or less, about a coin size amount. Try to get it in the middle of your cotton pad so that you then, when applying it with the cotton pad, you can evenly swipe it across your face and neck. Your skin should feel slightly damp and it should be able to fully absorb the product. Your skin should not feel sticky or even completely wet when applying your exfoliant to the skin, because then you're ending up with too much product and it can again lead to sensitivity. So, and once you have applied it all over your face and neck, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off when working with a leave-on exfoliant. And so it is fine to work with exfoliating acids and the niacinamide serum in the same routine. They do not have any issues. You can use one after another. So once you have applied your exfoliant, then the next step can be the application of your niacinamide serum. So as already mentioned earlier, use between 2 to 3 drops of the Ordinary Niacinamide serum since it has a thicker texture. If you're going to use more than that, it easily can lead to pilling since it can sit on top of the skin surface and not properly absorb into the skin when layering other products afterwards. This can be quite an issue, or it may feel sticky or tight on the skin because again, the product is not able to absorb into the skin and it sits on top of the skin surface. Therefore, my best advice would be use between 2 to 3 drops for your face and neck, and then either blend it all over your face or gently pat it all over. Both application methods are working. Just choose the one that works the best for you. So I just used 3 drops in the palm of my hand, and now I'm going to gently blend it all over my face and neck. Just make sure again to not use it on top of your eyelids. Please do not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. So, and once you have applied the Ordinary Niacinamide serum all over, again you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. Now this can already be the last step of your skincare routine. If it's going to be your evening skincare routine, for example, then you can go ahead and stop right here. It is fine to use the serum on its own. You do not have to follow with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards. If you want to include an exfoliant or hydrating toner in between those steps, go ahead and do so. That's completely fine, but you do not have to follow with an oil and or moisturizer afterwards. If it's going to be your morning skincare routine, and again, don't forget sun protection. Now, the next step would be, if you like to include an oil and or moisturizer, then go ahead and do so. You can also mix your oil with your moisturizer. That's also an option that you can do. Again, the rest of your skincare routine should work well for your overall skin type and needs and what feels comfortable on the skin. So I have, for example, an oil right here as well as the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors. You can use either one of them as, for example, your evening skincare routine, or both together, or mix them. So in this example, I'm just going to use the Natural Moisturizing Factors on its own. And then when using your moisturizer, use about a pea-size amount, more or less. If you have a drier skin type, you may want to use more or include an oil in your skincare routine, and this is how you can balance it. About that much, more or less. You can add a bit more to it as well. And then gently blend it all over your face and neck. Again, make sure to not get it into your eyes nor into your mouth. So, and once you have applied your oil and or moisturizer on the skin, you're going to leave it on the skin. There's no need to wash it off. And this would be an example of an evening skincare routine. However, again, when being exposed to the sun during daytime, please don't forget to follow with sun protection. If you want to see a specific guide on how much you need to use, as well as see the application of a moisturizer that already contains SPF or regular sunscreen, I have a video for you in the top right corner, which you can check out to see it all at once. But now I want to keep my focus on how we can dilute Ordinary Niacinamide serum with another treatment or moisturizer. And so this can be extremely helpful if you feel like that the overall niacinamide serum on its own is going to be too potent for your skin to tolerate, since it does include 10% of niacinamide. And for some people, this may be way too much. And so if that's the case, you still can make it work by diluting it with another product. And so if you want to dilute it with another serum, my best advice would be use an hydrating and soothing serum, such as hyaluronic acid, marine hyaluronics, or amino acids. Those are just some examples. If you have another one at home from a different brand, if it is an hydrating serum, go ahead and dilute your niacinamide serum with your hydrating serum, so that you won't come across any issues when mixing it with another treatment, to keep it as simple and effective as possible. So as an example of a serum, I'm using the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid Serum, which is an hydrating serum. And so when it comes to diluting it, you're basically going to use your hydrating serum as you usually would, but you're just going to add 1 or 2 drops of niacinamide as well. So when it comes to serums that have a thicker texture, I usually recommend using between 2 to 3 drops. And so in this case, you can, for example, use 2 drops of hyaluronic acid and 1 drop of niacinamide. So, and once you have mixed your niacinamide with your hydrating serum in the palm of your hand, then you can go ahead, rub your hands together and then gently and evenly blend it all over. And this would be a method on how you can dilute it with another serum. Now, another possibility would be mixing it with your moisturizer if you do include a moisturizer in your skincare routine. And so when it comes to your moisturizer, use the one that you usually use, that you like the most, so it's working well for your skin type and overall needs. In this case, I'm going to keep on going with the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors. So use about a pea-sized amount of your moisturizer, or let's say about the amount that you usually would use, so that you have enough for your face and neck to evenly blend it all over. So about that much more or less of your moisturizer, and then add 1 or 2 drops of niacinamide to it so that you then can dilute it. And then again, mix it in the palm of your hand. And once you have nicely mixed it, rub your hands together and then gently blend it all over your face and neck. This is how you can dilute the Ordinary Niacinamide serum with another treatment or moisturizer. Now, I do want to remind you that when diluting the Ordinary Niacinamide, you only need to apply it once. So I just demonstrated to you an entire application of how you can use the specific products individually and how you can layer one after another. So if you now say, well, I want to dilute it with a hydrating serum, well, then you are going to wash your face at first, maybe include a toner if you like to, or an exfoliant, and then do your mixture with your hydrating serum as well as niacinamide, and then move on to your oil and or moisturizer in the evening or sun protection during daytime. However, if you want to dilute it with your moisturizer, then again, you're going to wash your face, maybe use a toner or exfoliant, and then move on to either an oil if you like to, or even then the mixture of your moisturizer and niacinamide. So again, then you're going to basically switch step, because you're not going to use niacinamide on its own. You're going to mix it with another product, and therefore you're going to use it only once in your skincare routine. So I do want to make this clear. You do not have to apply it 2 or 3 times in your skincare routine. Just do it once. Either use it on its own or mixed with another product. And so this is now what I wanted to show you, and also what I wanted to share with you. If you find those example skincare routines helpful, again, you can download them in the description box down below and go over them in your own time. However, if you now want to know more about skincare and how you can apply the different products, I have several videos on my YouTube channel, and I'm going to link some of them at the end of this video so that you can keep on watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you find it helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up as well as share it. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon in the next one. Happy skincaring. Bye!